it doing? What's it doing, Bones? There. Morning.
Nice. Oh yeah. Oh, is that the handle for?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Which one?
Put it in that fish tank.
Same thing all men do with their lizards. Play with them.
Look at him. He's gonna get healthy again. He'll get healthy again. He needs to be found in iguana in North Carolina. Wild, growing, missing a toe. Missing 2 toes.
He's missing a couple.
He got beat up somewhere out here in North Carolina.
What are you doing recording shit?
My whole life, man. Literally. Literally.
Dude, that's funny you say that because I had 2 iguanas. One was Iggy, one was Iggyette. I threw them both in the fucking woods.
Hey, listen. What? There are videos running. Videos are going to be going on right now.
Right through the woods. These boys had the work cut out for them.
Laugh, joke, have a good time. Live it, be cussing, okay?
This ain't no joke here, boys. Right through the woods. What up, what up? Speaking of the devil, Mr. Brett himself. What's going on, brother?
How are you?
How's your fence going?
Good.
What
Hey,
you
we
got
got to
going
get
on?
these holes filled in. Red. Come here.
Show me what you got, man.
Well, while they're running boards, you just went down the fence line. We're going to fill these holes in. Look.
Yes.
See? There's no support up top at the top, okay? So just
Get some dirt in.
don't create more dirt. See all this dirt right here? All this dirt. You about took my toes off. Be careful.
Tamping in the holes so the pole
Yep.
doesn't move.
So the top don't move.
Makes sense to me.
Should have been done.
Yeah.
And run that over there to him. I'll get the rest of this. So what he's doing here essentially is filling this in and packing it, soft packing it so that it provides support for the top of the post.
Do we go back afterwards and lay seed, or do you let the underbrush take back up?
Underbrush, especially where we're at. We had to bring a mulching mower through here to clear this lane, this family.
Like a forestry mulcher or like a brush hog?
It was like more of a forestry blade. This big old
Sweet.
John Deere, it was pretty, and it made a path.
Was that Mr. Charles brought that out?
Charles, yes sir.
Sweet,
Yep,
sweet.
yep. So, since we just set all the posts now, we typically go 68 inches out of the ground, but with this fence, the size of these roots that were in this and the root system here, we're lucky to get down as far as we did. But a lot of these, none of these are cut currently. So you can imagine 96-foot board.
Topping them afterwards.
Yep, just
Keeping
went
it all
on top of
smooth lines.
after that 80 pounds of cement that is in each one of these holes. Some have more than others because
Absolutely.
it depends on the water. When we drilled these holes, the holes were filling up with water almost instantly. So we had to bring a suction unit out, suction out all the water, and then set it and let the water go back in, just seep into the 80, 120 pounds of cement that's in each of the
80 and 100 pounds each, huh? Show me the hardest part we got. What was the most difficult part of this fence putting it together?
Nothing.
None of it. I
None of
like it. Just a little wet swamp, little
Wait, I'd like
A little
to
bit of
put
wood
in
line?
here as well, James, if you don't mind. This is a 6x6 here. The guys
Why'd you do that? Why'd you put a 6x6 on that corner?
anchoring down. This is the corner of the yard.
See the
right?
back of that shirt?
This is the corner of the yard.
By the way, this is a Navy Chief, owner operator, anchor
so-
fencing.
You anchor the corner. If you have good corners, the rest of it will be sturdy. We are going to be unveiling and building a special section up here. Hey, just fill those holes in, bud. Get that dirt. Try not to beat on the posts, and just pack it in softly with your boot, okay? And so up this way,
You're saying the front of it's going to be more of a showcase, more of a fancy aesthetic fence,
it is. So
and it's still a privacy fence up front as well?
privacy, well, it's a what's called a shadow box.
Shadow box,
It's
gotcha.
called a neighbor-friendly fence here in Oyster Landing. The HOA, I believe, requires shadow box according to this homeowner. So essentially, right here, these are all 6x6s. You can see their other side is kind of smaller as well. It's essentially the same thing, not as much of a slope. The family wants to eventually clean all that brush you see because this is now all inside of their fence.
Right.
And so eventually they're going to need to get.
Mind you, folks, we are fencing directly into the woods.
Correct.
Made that hole themselves, you know?
We're using Charles in his.
Absolutely. Using that big tractor, got through the woods.
Yep. And so what this is going to be here is where we're going to develop a fence that not only will allow it to come off, it allow bigger, because this is your gate, right?
So a removable panel plus a gate.
Correct.
Sweet. Are we hanging that on eye hooks?
I
With
hope
a
I'm going to create these
slant bolt and eye hook?
It's almost essentially like this. We utilize these gate frames here. Great. Especially here in eastern North Carolina with the high winds and stuff. It's essentially a like a L bolt
Absolutely.
and a hinge, a barrel clamp.
So you can pick it up, put it back on.
Correct. So what essentially will happen? Well, this frame here is for a gate. So essentially, it's the same process. When we utilize these gate frames on, if you could turn around, this would be the gate here.
Instead of leaving it on a hinge like that, put those on both sides so you can pick the whole thing up and pull it out.
Absolutely, indeed. So same concept here. Right here is where their gate would be. That frame will essentially be right here.
So that gate, and then that will be a removable panel.
Correct.
So that you can get lawnmowers and tractors and so forth in it.
And so if you noticed here, all three of these posts are all 6x6s.
Correct.
We put
That's weight bearing?
every gate we do, we utilize 6x6s with these frames.
Or for wind, shear,
For wind,
shear factor?
But also so that you can take this frame during the storm, lift it up, and lay it down.
And that allows the
Sandbags
wind to
on-
go through it so that it doesn't blow the whole thing down, correct?
So in the event that you don't have a gate over here and the wind's coming, I'm going to create a fence panel that essentially is the same concept as the gate. You need to get through here and get people in here, party, whatever. You lift it up from the back, you lay it down. You get it out of the way. It's not going to be any heavier than a standard 8-foot section. It's actually going to be lighter, smaller, shorter 2x4s. We'll have to
Sweet.
get through some things, but this will be the first concept. And I'll show more video on that actual concept as we get ready to build it.
Absolutely.
We need to allow these to set a couple more days, honestly, because the ground was so wet. We're not going to build on this. We were okay to build on these right now, but we're going to skip some sections, kind of let it settle for another day or two. Yeah, other than that, I appreciate James coming out with the local USA org and filming this. I'm excited about becoming a member, not only of the local branding, but also to bring my business, my family's business, to them. sure. Hey, Fred. Yep. Go ahead. No, let them hook up before you let go of that, because why is that? It'll roll forward, not on in right now. Do a walk around, make sure.
All right, so we just left the first job site for anchor fencing, and we're gonna run over to the next one, lay some posts, and then go to eat lunch. Let's see how these boys can get some work done. Here we go.
How's he looking? He's alright. Straight back. Looking good. For the house,
All right. Currently, back at the shop, Local USA, and my goats are out. And in the neighbor's yard. Come on. Come on, everybody. Everybody meet Triton. Him's a good boy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's get you some breakfast. So, Dad, if you would have fed for lunch, we wouldn't go to the neighbor's house and eat all their yummies. They got sweetgrass next door. Yeah, look at that big cock. Oh, Dwayne already got plywood off?
Oh, yeah.
Sick. What's up?
Hey, can I steal my medium now? Being I seen it in there.
You saw what?
Can I steal my medium shirt now?
Yeah.
I didn't want to take it up for me.
Yeah, there's one in there.
Had made it.
Tiny house.
Is that connected to your phone or something?
Yeah. So, about 20 foot tall. It's gonna be 2 stories. Little house of veteran. I'm planning on making about 100 of them.